Yo, what's going on, traders? So this is the weekly outlook video. Hope you all had an epic Father's Day to all the dads out there. And let's get into looking at some of this data first. And it's quite a lot of red folders here, if you can see my screen. And so I'm just gonna go down the line here. Monday, gonna be pretty chill, but starting with Tuesday, it's gonna be off to the races, right? So we have the cash rate, in other words, the Bank of Australia rate statement. So that should be pretty interesting. Aussie's been having some strength lately. So, we'll see if they hold rates the same or if they move. And, the Fed has been talking about potentially cutting rates, staying the same, but maybe a more dovish type language. And, we have a lot of rate statements here. And so, the question is that same sentiment going to be held across the board, right? So later on Tuesday morning, we got retail sales, which should be pretty big out of the U.S. Core retail sales, which is super important right now because the significance of that is, are the consumer, in other words, you, if you're in the United States, are you spending money, or are you hit by the inflation or the fact that, eggs cost $6 a dozen or whatever it might be in your town, gas super high, everything, inflation through the roof. So core retail sales is basically the economic factor that measures what kind of impact the inflation is having on the everyday consumer. So in other words, are you buying goods and are you shopping, right? So moving on to Wednesday, inflation out of the UK. So that's going to be obviously super important. Just like I was saying, inflation is the number one concern for any normal person, and it's really a massive deal. So going into Thursday, the Swiss National Bank policy rate, and we'll take a look at the Swiss here in a second, and then rolling into the Bank of England, right? So the UK central bank is meeting. So that's going to be it's going to be stacked Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday. A lot more manufacturing inflation data from there. Out of Europe, out of the UK. And core retail sales out of Canada, manufacturing PMIs out of the United States. So how does this affect what we got going on here? I took a nice long here on Euro because we had this gap from, when we started the week. There's a lot of news out of France, talking about their snap election and things not going so well for Macron. So we had a nice little push higher to fill that gap. So it took a long on that. But really the big mover of the week has been the Swiss. So here's a really nice short trade I took off the 4-hour time frame here. Aussie Swiss. Nice retest of this zone. This is this is textbook one of my trades, right? You can see it right there. That's where I originally had those Fibonacci's right into this kill zone. Retested, moved lower, and then I re-entered after the confirmation of that move. So still holding this, we're moving right past the 86.3, 78.6 area, and if we keep moving lower, my downside targets are the 127, 161.8% extension of that move. So I just measure that low to the high, and boom. So this puts us right into these Fibonacci levels. So Aussie Swiss looking super strong, and despite dollar strength, you can see it on Euro USD. Pound dollar's holding up a little bit, but despite this dollar strength, we also have dollar Swiss. So I'm in shorts and dollar Swiss too. So we'll see if this move continues to move lower as well. Looking pretty good. See, I took this off of the 15-minute time frame. You can see a pretty good, get a good look at it here. So if we break these supports, and so this is significant because that looks like it would be pretty good. This is significant because, you look at pound Swiss. We have, like I just went over, the central bank, Swiss National Bank, who's kind of like a rogue actor. They do whatever they want, for sure. So that is going to be a really big mover on next week. I think that was Tuesday. You can see CAD Swiss. So maybe we can get some sort of pullback, and which would open the door to an opportunity for a re-entry on some of these pairs. Now, if we're looking at dollar pairs, I really like NZD/USD on the long side going into next week. So this is, I'm gonna go ahead and star this. You can see I actually just went like that. So I actually really like this setup. So I'm gonna go ahead and flag it and get it ready for next week. And we have a pullback to the nice little 78.6 area here. And, I'm going to wait for my entry confirmation across here. Give us some more confirmations that we would be continuing this trend. Here it is in the 1 hour. So I have the 1 hour time frame configured to the 4 hour time frame. So I'm looking at it on the 4 hour, but, with 4 times as many candles to watch the price action. So this is going to be my big trade for the upcoming week for the dollar. So let's absolutely crush it this week, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Let's make it happen. Peace.